Put down that bubble bath, cancel your spa date, and forget everything you think you know about self-care. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why self-care might be the thing holding you back from achieving your goals in 2025, and how tough love is the approach that you didn't know you need. I'm Dr. Christina Ady, social psychologist and communication coach. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what you need to do to keep yourself motivated, accountable, and disciplined this upcoming year. Welcome to your 5-letter word. I'm your host, Christina, and in each episode, we explore how intentional communication and a strong mindset can transform your business, your relationships, and your personal growth. Whether we're covering communication strategies or sharing tips to shift your mindset, this podcast will help you learn to create more meaningful conversations in your life so that you can deepen your relationships and grow your business. So sit back, relax, and soak in the insights as we dive into today's conversation. How often are you scrolling on social media, on something like Instagram and TikTok, when you come across inspirational posts, motivational quotes, all of this content talking about the importance of self-care, self-love, meeting yourself where you are, nurturing and listening to your body? And here's the truth. This is important. This matters. But the messaging around self-care has swung so far in one direction that we might be taking it out of proportion. Now, what I mean is hard work, hustle culture, grinding yourself to the point where you are burnt out is not the answer. Many of us have experienced hustle culture, myself included, working 12, 14, 16-hour days, working nonstop around the clock, sacrificing ourself, our health, our mental health, our physical health, our nutrition, even things like drinking enough water. All of these things being sacrificed to the identity of someone who works hard, who hustles, who works hard to get the things that they want. How many of you have had that mindset? And more importantly, how long have you had that mindset? So when the self-care movement came around, it was like a breath of fresh air. It was a nice, refreshing sentiment that gave you permission to put down the work, to stop hustling and grinding to such an extent that it was harming you, and indulge a little bit more. Create some more work-life balance for yourself. Create opportunities and moments where you honor yourself and nurture yourself in a way that is fulfilling. And yet, how many people have taken this and run with it a little bit too far? How many people now use self-care as an excuse for laziness? How many people use self-care as an excuse to not work on their goals and encourage procrastination? It's happening. I see it all the time online, the people around me and the people that I work with. It has swung way too far, and people are not sure what to do about it because they haven't recognized the extent to which it's impacting them in their lives. So let me know if this is you and you relate to this. You know you have a project to do. You know you have a goal you want to work towards, but it's hard. And motivating yourself, staying accountable and disciplined is hard. And instead, it's easier to look at the stuff that you've done, to justify it, and give yourself reasons why you've done enough for the day, and why indulging in a late night snack, an extra episode on Netflix, on YouTube, why staying up and scrolling on your phone is an act of self-care. And be honest with yourself for a moment. How many of your acts of self-care are legitimately needed to nourish your body and your soul? And how many of them are an excuse preventing you from working on the things that you know you need to work on? I'm not telling you that you need to hustle 24/7. And I'm not telling you to neglect self-care. It's a delicate balance of both. Think of it as a spectrum. On the one end, you have very, very relaxed, very, very much attuned into self-care. This is reminiscent of the soft life aesthetic going around online, where everything is easy, everything flows, everything comes naturally when you just nurture yourself. It's reminiscent of the individuals in the manifestation community who just talk about sit down and journal, envision your life, feel the feelings, and it lacks the work, it lacks the principles, and it lacks the discipline. On the other end of the spectrum is nothing but grinding and hustling and working yourself to the bone, to the point where you are detrimenting your own health. And I'm not encouraging either. I think the happy medium, the merit that everyone should work to achieve, is the middle tough love position. Now, think about tough love for a moment. What is tough love? Tough love is the principle of having long-term vision, of thinking about the impact of current actions on long-term goals. It's the idea of knowing that current circumstances are going to be a reflection of your future environment. It's understanding that what you are doing now is impacting your future. Now, what does that mean? Let's break it down further. It means combining high expectations for yourself with levels of high support. It means being future focused rather than momentary comfort focused. It acknowledges your abilities and your capabilities and the things that you can grow to become more capable of, while also balancing that with your current limitations, with any flaws, with any gaps in knowledge. And it prioritizes your growth, your long-term continuous growth over current temporary comfort. Now, growth includes discomfort. That's just a natural part of growth. If you have ever set goals for yourself, then you know firsthand that in order to achieve those goals, you need to step outside of your comfort zone. You need to experience discomfort in order to grow. And tough love acknowledges that. Now, I want you to take a moment and think back to a coach or a mentor that you've had who has been very impactful on your life. Maybe even a parent, if you were fortunate enough to have a parent that had a very good tough love approach. Consider this. Did they want the best for you? Yes. Did they push you past your own comfort zone because they saw things in yourself that maybe you didn't see in yourself? Yes. Did they encourage you to try new things even when you said you couldn't do it? Yes. But were they also there supporting you? Yes. Were they also there providing structures and implementing different processes to help you get out of your comfort zone? Yes. If you've ever played on a sports team or if you're a fan of sports, think to some of the greatest coaches. What do? They understand each player's strengths. They understand each player's weaknesses. They understand each player's comfort zone. They take all three to push them to the brink of their comfort zone and past it so that they can step into the greatness that the coach sees in them. It takes practice. It takes dedication. It takes commitment. Why aren't we doing this for ourselves? Why aren't you doing that for yourself? So consider how treating yourself with tough love will be transformative in your life this year. If you have a vision for your goals for 2025, if you have a vision for your potential in your life in the grand scheme of things, are you holding yourself accountable to actually achieve this vision, to break it down into actionable steps, to push yourself outside of your comfort zone so you can grow and expand and work towards these steps faster? Are you celebrating your progress? Are you celebrating your growth? Are you showing up and supporting yourself in the ways that you need it? If you know that you have, let's say, a shortcoming in the sense that you need a little bit more knowledge or a little bit more practice, are you giving yourself the tools to learn those things? Are you signing up for online courses? Are you attending workshops and seminars? Are you consuming the right content, even things like YouTube videos, podcasts? Are you giving yourself the support that you need to step out of your comfort zone and grow? Be honest with yourself and answer that question. Because if you're not, then you're not giving yourself the tough love that you need to succeed. Now, think about a parent who's teaching their child how to ride a bike. What do? In most cases, they start by adding the training wheels so the kid can get a sense of how to ride the bike. But what happens when the training wheels need to come off? Do they stop the child from taking the training wheels off? Do they tell them, you don't need to do that, nurture yourself, Listen to your body. You'll be okay. You'll figure it out one day. No, they take off the training wheels, they go behind them, and they hold them as they learn to balance on the bike. They provide the support and the structure in place, but temporarily, because what do they do after? They let go. And most often, the child falls. Do they give up and just say, you couldn't do it? Your fault. You couldn't do it on the first attempt. So what's the point in trying? No. They might not let you cry. They might not let you whine about it. They might not let you give up, but they'll go behind you and they'll push you to support you and let go again and again and again. Why? Because tough love gives you the support and the push that you need to work towards your goals. So again, think about it. Are you giving yourself the tough love that you need? Are you giving yourself the support, but also the push, the reminder that you have goals that you want to work towards? Maybe they're communication goals. Maybe they're business goals. Maybe they're relationship goals. Regardless, set goals for yourself and think about what actually needs to be done to achieve these goals. Now, most people set goals that are hard, that are even a little bit hard. Is still outside of your comfort zone. It's still outside of something that you do on a daily basis. If you were already doing the things that needed to be done, you would have already achieved the goals that you want to achieve. But they're goals because you haven't achieved them yet, which means you need to do something differently to achieve them, which means you need to be able to push yourself while still giving yourself the support that you need. So what might that look like for you? Take a moment to reflect on it. Again, does that mean consuming the right kind of content? Does that mean joining the right kind of group or club where you're with like-minded people, with people who can support you? If you have a goal to be able to run a marathon by the end of this year, you will need to train. But maybe that also looks like joining a running group so that you have the support, the accountability, and the community that you need to succeed. It would be hard, perhaps, to wake up at 5, 6 in the morning to go to the club and to run with everyone. But tough love tells yourself that you have to do this. It's not hitting snooze on your alarm and telling yourself that self-care requires you get your 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep. It's the small decisions that build the discipline. It's pushing yourself in those moments of decision where you have to choose for yourself. Are you going to go with comfort, or are you going to go with stepping outside of your comfort zone and building the discipline to do the things that need to be done? Every single choice is yours. Every single decision you make is yours alone. Even if you feel pressured by other people, even if you feel like you have to do certain things, how you do them, how you show up, that choice is yours. Let me give you a framework that you can use to give yourself the tough love to achieve your goals. You're going to use the PUSH framework, P-U-S-H. So the P stands for finding your purpose-driven goals. What is your goal and why is it your goal? What's the purpose of it? What will it help you achieve? And think about more than one life area for your goals. For example, if you're setting a business goal for yourself, sure, one of the main goals could be financial reasons. But go beyond that. If you meet your financial goals, what other areas of your life are impacted? It might be your family and friends, your relationships. It might be your level of comfort and leisure because you'll be able to afford bigger, better, nicer things. You might be able to afford those vacations that you dream about. It might also include some sort of philanthropic goal where you are able to use your company to perhaps create a scholarship, some kind of foundation, some sort of social media movement where you're helping other people. If you can relate to your goal to more than one life area, you are creating so much more purpose and desire for that goal within yourself. So the P, find your purpose-driven goal. Next is the U. Think about your uncomfortable actions that you can take, be it daily or weekly. What is it that you need to do to actually be able to achieve your goal? And be reasonable here, because again, tough love requires that happy middle. If your goal is to grow your business, if your goal is to improve your fitness, if your goal is to improve your communication, be concrete. What is it that you specifically want? When a goal is not specific, it's easy for it to become, on the back burner of our lives. If you just want to improve your business, if you just want to improve your communication, that is so broad that it's easy to get lost in the details. Instead, get very specific on what you want and what action steps will get you there. So if you want to improve your public speaking, fantastic. Get very clear on what that means to you. Does that mean doing more presentations this year? Does that mean presenting in front of a bigger group of people? Does that mean doing a longer presentation? Does that mean speaking with more confidence and less nerves? What is the metric that you're gauging? Be specific here. Once you've done that, break it down into your uncomfortable actions. What exactly do you need to do to get to that goal? So if you're thinking about becoming a better public speaker and your specific goal is to speak in front of a bigger audience, let's say right now you present in front of a team of 10 people and it freaks you out and you can't handle the nerves. Well, maybe your goal is to present in front of a group of 20 people with confidence. So now you break it down. How can I get there? Do I need to do more presentations? Do I need to learn something like breathing techniques to deal with the anxiety? Do I need to work on my confidence holistically so that I'm more confident everywhere, including in my public speaking events? Break it down. Get to the nitty-gritty details as much as you can for yourself. So if you want to present in front of a group of 20 people and you're struggling to present in front of 10, what do you need to do? Do you need to volunteer for more events? Do you need to sign up for maybe something like a community event where you can have exposure to more people? What is it that you need to do, and how can you do those things on a daily or a weekly basis? Then it's the S. This is for support systems. What support do you need for yourself to be able to achieve your goals while still giving yourself that tough love approach? Do you need an accountability partner? Do you need a community support, something like a group, maybe an online group, maybe an in-person group? Do you need your family and friends on board? Maybe you live with a partner or kids or your family and you need them on board to keep you accountable. Otherwise, it might be too easy to get distracted, right? Maybe you want to create a 2-hour time block where you deep work with no interruptions. Let them know. What is it that you need to do to put the support in place for yourself so that you can go back to your uncomfortable actions and do them on a daily or weekly basis, right? It's all holistic. It all matters because it all intertwines. And finally, the H, your honest self-feedback. This one might arguably be the most important one. Because when you think back to the spectrum of super self-care all the way to hustle culture, where are you falling on it on a weekly basis? Are you doing too much self-care? Are you doing too much hustling and you're burning out? Keep yourself accountable in an honest way. Have you worked on your goals? Have you taken the action steps that you set for yourself? Are the people that you ask to keep you accountable keeping you accountable, right? Honest self-reflection is such a crucial part of this because it stops you from derailing. It helps you catch the things that are not working early on so that you can fix them. Self-reflection should not be scary. Self-reflection is not a bad thing. Self-reflection is a gift that you give yourself so that you can keep growing and progressing in the direction that you intend to. Otherwise, you are leaving it up to chance. You're leaving it up to someone else. You don't want an entire year to go by where you look back on and you're disappointed in yourself because you weren't honest with how little progress you were making. Maybe you weren't honest with yourself that you were pivoting because the thing that you actually wanted to work on was a little bit too hard and you weren't sure how to push yourself and get the support that you need, so you didn't. And you hustled and grinded and did all these other things in the wrong direction. Honest feedback keeps you accountable and it keeps you on track. So take some time today, go through the push method, Find your purpose-driven goals. Pick your uncomfortable actions. Set your support systems. And come up with ways to have honest self-reflection for yourself. These are the things that will be a game changer for you when it comes to setting and achieving your goals. Remember, tough love isn't about being mean. It isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's about setting boundaries and pushing yourself past your comfort zone so that you can grow in the ways that you intend to grow. It's about being kind to yourself in a way that is still productive. So the next time you are tempted to use self-care as a coping mechanism, as a way to procrastinate, as a way to avoid the thing that you know you should be doing, ask yourself, is this needed and is this worth it? Will this actually nurture you in the way that you think it will? Or is it just an excuse and a cop-out so that you don't do the thing that you know you should be doing? So as I wrap up today's episode, I'm going to leave you with your 5-letter word. And today, that word is grace. Tough love is all about that happy middle. It's all about giving yourself the grace to rest and recharge when you need it, but to not when you know you shouldn't. It's about pushing yourself to your limits in a way that is kind and respectful to yourself. It's about acknowledging where you are along your journey at every step of the way, while holding yourself accountable to keep going. Growth doesn't happen on its own. Growth doesn't happen spontaneously. And if you want 2025 to be the year that you grow and experience the things that you've been thinking about, then you need to be intentional with how you get there. Whether that is being a good communicator, whether that is improving your health and fitness, whether that's improving your relationships. Give yourself some grace, but give yourself some accountability. I'll see you all in the next episode. Comment down below with what your biggest breakthrough was. And if you have any requests for future episodes, please let me know and I'm happy to do those for you as well. Take care. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Your 5-Letter Word. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And as always, I love to hear about your breakthroughs. I'm here to serve your soul a cup of peace and a slice of joy. Until next time, take care.